Are you a little sick? Are you a little tired? Are you wanting to do some work with resistance bands, but you don't quite know what to do? Too many options. What the hell? Then today's workout is for you. My name's Natasha. I'm from Diverse Personal Training. I hope you like the creative intro. It's the first one of, I don't know how many I'll do. So I am a body positive, injury and disability friendly personal trainer located in Mornington, Melbourne, Australia. If you've never been to this channel before, it's basically a way for me to showcase the type of personal trainer I am and try and help anyone who wants to watch an exercise video and work out with me. So today's theme is the resistance band. So we're focusing pretty much on shoulders and knees. This video I have split into two. So we're going to start with lower body stuff. So we are going to start with resistance band work on the quads and the hamstrings, followed by body weight squats. And then we're going to move into the upper limb stuff. I'll leave timestamps for you as well. And I wanted to divide it so that it's easier for my differently abled friends out there and people in wheelchairs who, you know, they see resistance band workout, injury, disability, and then they realise that half of it doesn't apply to them. At least you know where you can go. I'm happy to do a full upper body one day. I am happy to take your suggestions if there's something you like. So as always, listen to your body. You're in charge of this workout, not me. I'm just here to provide you with some wonderful suggestions and this very pretty face that's still got the sore from last week because I still had a cold. So without further ado, let's get started. Please, if this is your way to step back into working out after an injury, get the necessary clearance you need, listen to your body. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay guys, so we have a few different resistance band options out there, and whatever you have at home, I just want you to use. There's always something you can do to make it work for today's workout. So we have one of my favorites, which is just a small loop. It's normally used for gluteal work. So it's quite small and it's really quite resistive and it's quite thick in this dimension. You can totally use that for today's workout. However, I do recommend something that's a bit longer, or at least something that'll give you a bit more of a stretch than something that's so straight up hard resistance and short, because we're going to be doing long distances with the shoulders, so I want to make sure you can get that range. So something like this might not be 100% ideal, but for you and your body, if you feel that this is the best for you, I want you to go ahead with it. The next option we have is our regular piece of TheraBand resistance band, but here's one I've prepared earlier and it's now been tied into a loop. So this is something that you can totally use for today. Would be a fantastic piece of equipment. This is quite a lighter resistance workout, but it gives us really good range for what we need, and if you have one of these at home, this will be good for today's workout. Last but not least, you have one of my favorites. I love this one, and yes, it is quite long, as you can see, but whenever I do gluteal exercises or whatever, I simply double it up and then you've got double the resistance. So this is the one that I'll be using today. If you have something similar, fantastic. You can see this circumference matches probably one that you might have at home, and it's just made longer. I just like this one, it's my favorite. So let's get started. Just going to get started and warmed up. So we're just going to move our arms in great big circles forward. So today's workout I've designed for people who would just like a lower intensity option, who want to learn a little bit more about what they can do with resistance bands. And it is for those days, or those times, or those people who need a lower impact option and perhaps have lower mobility. So if you think you fit in that category, this is totally the one for you. All right, couple rows. We're going to be doing a lot of this today, and we're just going to open the chest, close. this. So really stretch in both dimensions. I'm getting hot already. I'm gonna have to take this jumper off real soon. All right, just a few more. Okay, legs come up. So we're going to do a couple body weight things as well. And one of the things we're going to do today is a body weight squat, but slightly differently. And my brand new personal trainer, Roz the Diva, was polite enough to walk me through a way to squat that I actually have forgotten and I haven't done in such a long time. And it was so nice. I'm just going to go around with the ankles. And it was so nice to do a squat, something I'm so familiar with, but in a different way. And I really look forward to sharing that one with you today. It's surprisingly, it's a good amount of effort that you can put your body through without feeling exhausted by the end of it, which is wonderful. And it can help to really stabilize or offload pressure on knees, I should say. And we'll get to that one quite soon. So just a general sway here and there. Do a little bit of a lunge if you like. For those of you who are seated, perhaps you're in a wheelchair, perhaps you've decided to do this workout sitting down today, you can shift your weight either side, maybe touch the walls next to you if you like. And now we can do the same thing forward and back. Bit of a Mr. Bean move. Now don't overexert yourself. I don't want you to arch your back. You know, I just want you to move around different dimensions. All right, shoulders go around. So for the rest of the workout, I'm going to try and split it into people who would be doing things seated. Perhaps they're in a wheelchair, differently abled, or just need to relax the legs today. And then people who are able to use their legs and want to use their legs today. So I will put a timestamp in the description below, but we're going to start with our legs coming all the way up. Okay guys, first resistance band and only resistance band work that we're going to do with the legs. We're going to do body weight squats and we're going to do some resistance band stuff aiming to help the quadriceps and hamstrings. So if you're having any knee stiffness, this is one for you. So the first thing I want you to do is find a nice low anchor point. So for this, maybe a chair leg or a table leg, alternatively outside if you have a veranda or any sort of fence near you, a water tap perhaps, a pole, fence post, see what you can find, but you want it to be, you know, you don't want it to be higher than knee level, like that's absolute maximum. You want to find something that's between ankle and knee, preferably middle of the shin. So you can see I've got mine up quite high. I'm going to do one round up high, next round in the middle, and the last round at the bottom, just so you can see the different effects. You don't have to change. More than welcome to though. It is your body and your workout. So as you can see, I've just got my resistance band anchored and we have the loop coming out. If you've got a shorter resistance band, naturally you'll be closer to your anchor point. You're going to put one foot in. Oh. And you're going to bring that foot forward so that you just feel a little bit of tension. So you can see I've set this up so that it's mid shin, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer my body weight to my left side and I am going to bring this forward and back. That's all we're doing. So this is that quad workout. 3, we're going to do 8, 4, 5, take breaks if you need, tap your foot down if you need, 7, 8. And then you're simply going to turn around, oh my God, efficiency, and go backwards, 1. So for me, my hamstring range is not the best. I should actually say it's my hip extensor range. So I actually do have to work by leaning myself forward a little bit. Everyone's a bit different. And if you do have to come back into a tap, that's also fine. So we're doing 8, so let's just do another 2 more. and done. So now we're going to swap legs. So how I like to do this, one foot goes in and the other foot just comes out. And let's just stay here for hamstrings. So transfer your weight. If you're a bit unstable, just grab onto something. Once again, if you're outside near a fence post, you've probably got other fence posts. Use them to your advantage. All right, soften the knees a bit. Use that abdominal, your abdominals to maintain your center of mass, and let's come back. 2, 3, hands in space where you need them for your balance. 6, 7, 8. Wonderful. And we turn around and we're here. I love this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try not to lock the knee you're standing on. I had to think about that. Last one. All right. If you'd like to change your anchor point, please go ahead. I brought my anchor point a little bit lower this time just to see how it feels. I actually already like where this feels, so I'm going to continue the next round on this one. I know I said I'd try all 3, but I hope this is a good example for you to see that when you start noticing something feels good for your body, continue doing it. All right, so remember, walking back enough so that you feel a little bit of tension. If you want to work a bit harder, come back so it's a bit more tension. You can feel it work already. So we're doing hamstrings. So let's bring it back to 1, 2. Now try and keep the pelvis level, okay? We're not doing one of these, okay? 4, 5. Try and come straight back. I don't know why moving my hands like this helps, but it helps me. So if it helps you, go for it. Okay, turning to face forward. Come back a bit. If you need, find that happy place. Switch weight and let's go. 1, 2, 3. As much range as you can get or as you like. 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Let's swap them around. So if you need to watch what you're doing, one foot goes in, the other one comes out. All right, so let's go. Soften the knees, keep the pelvis level. We don't want sinky hips. Hold on to something if you need. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't lock up that knee that you're on. 5. Keep it soft. 6. Try and shift your weight backwards if you need. 7. Try and stay upright. 8. Let's swap-a-roo. Over. Facing this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Use those arms if you need. 5. If you're starting to feel strain here, use your abdominals more and move back towards your anchor point. Last one. Back pain is normally a sign of too much stress in one particular area. All right, we've got our last round. So let's start with that leg you started off with first. Now you can see the resistance band is getting lower and lower on my leg. The lower you go, the longer your leverage point. So it will be harder work, but it might feel more comfortable for you in that area. So if you like the comfort of where the resistance band is sitting, but you don't want the work to be too effortful, come forward and release some of that tension on that resistance band. Otherwise, stay where you feel comfy. Last set, let's go. 1, 2, 3. So be mindful of whatever position your body tries to adopt. Change it if you need to suit you. Try and keep the weight, head over shoulders, over tummy, over hips, over knees. I'm overcounted last one. Let's face this way and get ready to kick the ball. Kick it. Now, let's think about what else we can kick. Kick a bill. Kick rent. Kick something unpleasant. Diet culture. All right, I lost count again. I need to count more often, last one. All right, so that was that leg done. Let's move on to this one. And this time I'm going to count with you so that I don't give you too many more or not enough. All right, so let's go backwards with 8. Come back into the taps if you want. 7, 6, bend the knee you're on. 5, use the abdominals. 4, don't allow the hips to sink. 3, you're doing well. 2, 1. I really encourage you to do the arm thing. It's really helping me. I don't understand why, but let's just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to you if you want to tap. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now just a word, if you're starting to feel a build-up of pressure in here, kind of like if you were to imagine where you put your wallet in your back pocket, that's quite normal. So that's your gluteus medius trying to stabilize your pelvis. So stopping you from wanting to do this, the gluteus medius here is pulling tight and saying, get back up there, stabilize your center of mass. All right, let's do some squats. Now these squats, I'm sure you've done plenty of times. I'm sure you squat quite regularly, almost on you would have if you were getting up and off a chair, if you're going to the toilet. That movement is a squat, and squats use all sorts of muscle groups, and they're a fantastic way to strengthen and stabilize knee joints and hip joints. So with today's squat, we're going to start with a wider base of support than normal. Now I want you to do a couple of your regular squats, okay? And just see how that feels. So the kind of squat I'm doing now is a squat I've been doing for a little while, and you'll see in my aerobic activities. So if we do high intensity interval training, or if you come along with me to a Diverse Does fitness class for ladies, you know, these are the ones we tend to do. We just come down and we come up, and they tend to be at a higher pace. And whenever we work at a higher pace, our body is just trying to find the most efficient way to move. So it's not really thinking about potential ways to maximize certain muscle groups to work harder. We are in the mindset of get up, get down, find the efficient way. So stopping there, I just want you to notice now where you feel most worked. Are you feeling any strain anywhere? Are you feeling any blood pumped in a particular area? Because now, keeping our legs nice and wide, we're going to try and bring our weight backwards. So I'm going to show you a few in this way, and then I'm going to turn to the side, and I'm going to use my trusty ladder here to use as a form of anchor. So what I mean by doing this squat and that we come backwards, I want you to imagine two things. One, the kneecaps are not going to go forward over the top of your toes, or if you need to think of it another way, two, you are just going to bring your whole body weight backwards as you squat. Now, as you do that, you place more weight onto the heels, and that uses your hamstrings a bit more and your gluteals so much more, and it'll offload much more pressure off the knees as you bring your weight backwards, and your posterior chain muscles are helping to stabilize you to make sure you don't kaput. So come with me, we're going to go down, start slow, and as you come down, I want you to squeeze that butt of yours, squeeze, 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 and think about moving your weight as far back as you can and come back up. Now, if you like, I want you to stay there. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the side. So pay attention to my knees, where they are in relation to my hips and to my toes. Particularly, Are those knees going in front of my toes? Are they on top of my toes? Or are they behind? And come back up. The goal is to get those knees on top or behind. Now, for those of you whose gluteals are just a little bit on the weaker side and this is just really not safe for you, I want you to hold onto a ladder or a wall. Okay, so I've got something here. I shouldn't say hold onto a ladder. This is secured to the wall. You can hold onto a door handle, you can hold onto a bench, cupboard, as long as it's anchored and firm. So if you like, as you come down, if you need to hold on to an object to make sure you don't fall backwards, I want you to do so. And squeeze the glutes on the way back up. Let's do 2 more this way. Come down, and allow the body weight to come backwards. Squeeze those glutes, come up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And again, 1 more in this direction. Coming down, look at those knees, think about where your weight is, push and up. All right, if you need a bit of a shake, do a bit of a shake. Now let's work in a little bit more of a repetitious cycle. So we're gonna do 8, break, 8, break, 8, break, okay? And I want you to work with the, whichever pace suits you. Remember, this is your body. You are in control of this exercise. I'm here for suggestions. Okay, so facing me, let's do 8. All right, let me go slow. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4. Slow. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4. Number 3. Down and up. And your calm. 4. Calm on the way down. That's it. Calm on the way up. Good. Number 5. So I want you to think about control. This is your moment to think about precision. When every other exercise class you do, you just have to pump out those repetitions. You don't get a chance to think about your form. This is that opportunity. Think about bringing that body weight backwards and allow those glutes and hamstrings to help out. Last one facing me before a little break. And up, squeeze those glutes. Shake out the legs if you like. I'm going to grab some water. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling a little refreshed after that water break. So let's come back to this side, or come to this side for the first time today. So we can do 8 here, then 8 facing the other way. And this is simply to change it up. If you prefer to just keep staring at me, go for it. You get a chance to see this wonderful booty. All right, let's go. So let's come down. Squeeze the glutes, particularly on the way back up. That's number 1. Coming back down, nice and slow and controlled. How far are you bringing your center of mass backwards? So I do have to thank the fabulous Roz the Diva for giving me an online training session the other day and reintroducing these back in my life. It has been quite a while and we were chatting about it, and I said, you know, I really enjoy my high intensity workout, I enjoy my aerobic workout, and so she thinks, and I agree, that I spend so much time thinking about push, pump them out, that haven't had the chance to stop and think. So I'm stopping and thinking. And I hope you're joining me. All right, 2 more, let's go. Now, I like to put my hands normally in front of me, but you can see I've got them on my hips at the moment. Go for it, wherever they feel natural. Last one this side, bring that body weight back, dig those heels into the ground. Beautiful, let's face this way. Okay, and we go down. 1. Number 2. And 3. Body weight back as low as you can go. If you're like me and you're starting to feel the need to not go as low, that's fine. Also feel free to experiment in how wide you bring your squats. Oh, that felt better. So I just experimented then to number 4, and I brought my stance a little wider. If you're at home doing this, I want you to do the same. Bring that stance a bit wider. And remember, bringing your weight backwards, hold on to something if you need. Get low, squeeze up. 3 more. What? Dig the heels into the ground, hold on to something for support if you need. 2 more. Hands where they need to be, wherever that is for you. And 1 more. Dig the heels into the ground. Use those gluteals. Wonderful. All right, let's get started with some upper body work. Okay, so we're going to get started on some resistance band rows, and you're going to keep hearing the rooster crowing in the back there. I've tried to keep him quiet, but he's just an animal going to do what he's going to do. So these resistance band rows, they're really good for, if we look at back muscles, starting there, our upper part of our latissimus dorsi, as well as our posterior deltoids and our trapezius muscle. We get a lot of tricep action in this as well. But what I like about this, if you have a really stiff or highly resistant resistance band, this also becomes a incidental abdominal exercise, which is what I really like. And the perfect thing about this is that you can do this. If you join me in finding whatever it is that you can anchor your resistance band row on. I'm quite fortunate that I have this ladder here. Door handles work a dream. Legs of a kitchen table work a dream. And if you can't find something that's the right height for you, consider sitting on the floor, kneeling on the floor, getting a small chair and using the leg of a table. Normally that's a really good height. Now, that brings us to which height. Where do you want the band to be anchored in relation to your body? Well, that all depends on you and what parts of your body you'd like to focus on. Generally, you don't want the band to be higher than your actual shoulder. For me, this is just getting there, where we're right on the edge. And you can go as low as you like. The lower you go, the lower down the muscles are going to be worked. And I would suggest somewhere between here is a great starting point. For me, I'll be using this. And what you want to do is either loop your band, depending on what kind of resistance band you have, and hold on to these. Now, I want you to see where my elbows are. They're at a 90-degree angle and they're going to stay that way. So when you are able to pull this just to a tight kind of tension, it's not pulled, it's just firmly coming out, and your elbows at 90 degrees, I want you to take 1 step back, not a full step. And you will start to notice tension increasing. So either 2 things can happen. Your elbows can extend and your hands come forward, or your back and abdominals are already working. And that's where I want you right now. If you've been experiencing some back pain, I'd suggest come forward a bit and don't worry about that extra bit of resistance and just do the rows as normal. But if you're wanting a little bit of a challenge for those abdominals and other back muscles, come back a little bit where there's tension in the resistance band while your elbows are at 90 degrees. So as always, form is key. So I have my feet roughly shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit bigger. My knees are soft. They're not locked back and they're not extended. They're just a bit bent. For me and how I like to work out like this, I do tuck my pelvis underneath myself a tiny bit. By no means is this necessary, and we're all got different body shapes and sizes. So if this is something for you, I want you to cue into that right now. Abdominals are on. So our abdominals are switched on and we're doing tension to task. So if you feel a lot of resistance, then you switch those abdominal muscles on quite hard. If you don't, bring them back a bit. All right, and we are just going to start by trying to bring our wrists to our sides. So you want to work at nipple level or below. I like to work just below the pecs. So I am bringing as much force as I can using my shoulders and my upper back. I'm not leaning back. Not doing that. My knees are bent, I'm in the ground, and I can actually feel a little bit of work happening actually in my quadriceps. And it could be because I did the squats earlier and they're already feeling a bit worked. But I'm trying to stabilize my body to make sure it doesn't rock forward or back. And in order to do that, my abdominals have to help and my knees are trying to help out as well, or my quadriceps rather. All right, so we're going to do 2 more at this range. And then we're going to change it up. 2, 1. Very good. Okay, step back a little bit more. Let's see how this feels. And I want you to have this time, your hands are in what we call prone position, but I want you to think your palms are to the ground. Okay, and now you are going to aim to bring these to our hips. Now, as you can see, they're not getting to my hips. It's just in the direction of. So this is a different movement. And I want you to think about bringing your shoulders down as you do this. Don't shrug up. Don't allow those neck muscles to bring your shoulders to your earlobes. You are in control. So do this as slow as you need to. Bend those knees. Remember our neutral position. Feet shoulder width apart, knees bent slightly, tummy muscles on, shoulders down, and bring down to the hips. And let's go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and remember as you bring to the hips, it's coming straight to the hips. We're not going out to the sides. 1. Have a bit of a break and let's come back to the rows. Okay guys, let's get back into the resistance band rows. So now that you've had a bit of a taste for it, I want you to set yourself up as far away as you feel comfortable. Right now, I feel like I want a little bit more shoulder range of motion. So I'm actually going to come forward a bit and allow my wrists to come as far back as possible. All right, so we are going to do 10 of these, 10 of those, 10 of these, 10 of those, and 10 of these, and 10 of those. So 3 times round. All right, let's get started. So we have 1, 2. So remember, depending on where your anchor point is, this is going to feel quite different. Okay, we're up to number 5. But in all those cases, the setup is the same. Knees are soft, abdominals are on, and we are trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together, as well as bring those shoulders down. Very good. I've lost count, so let's just do 2 more. And 1. And I like to play this up a little bit, and you know, I might for the next one be further back, next one be further in. So please feel free to do the same. You're still doing work no matter which position you're in. All right, resistance band rows, let's go. So we're just going to go down to the hips and 2. And you can see with this, I'm working very hard not to bring my shoulders up to my ears. I'm letting that trapezius muscle quieten, and I'm engaging those rhomboids to bring my shoulder blades down. Let's do one more. Oh, beautiful, 1/3 of the way through. All right, I'm going to come to about here right now. Let's see. And let's go for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Try not to rock. Use those tummy muscles. 2 more. 1 more. Beautiful. All right. Let's get ready to do hands, palms to the floor. Let's go. 10, 9. So the other thing as well, I don't want you to get too caught up in what muscle groups this is working. It's the shoulders, it's the back. Body movement is always good, okay? Unless it's in poor form or it's not going to suit your body. 2 more. So I want you to more so focus on how something feels rather than me saying it works. A muscle, B muscle, C muscle, D muscle. At the end of the day, we move to help keep our bodies feeling good. And if they feel good, there's no amount of technological terms that's going to make it feel good. It's what you are experiencing. All right, last round. So go to the position that feels good for you right now. I'm going to come back a bit more. All right, legs shoulder width or more apart, knees soften. I'm tucking my pelvis in just a tiny bit and embrace abdominals, and let's go for 10, 9. Try not to rock and roll all over the joint. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. Squeeze them. Feel the power from that upper back. 5, and squeeze them. 4, 3, stay with me. 2, 1, fantastic. All right, the last one's coming up. So I encourage you to do these exercises with the resistance band at different anchor points, higher or lower. The ones that we do here, these ones, they are quite comfortable done higher up. For efficiency's sake, I'm keeping mine here. Feel free to change yours if you like. Let's go for 10 and 9, 8, 7. Bring those shoulder blades down and back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. All right. So let's have a bit of a break and we'll return for some more upper limb. Okay, so our last set of upper limb resistance band exercises are really good for our rotator cuff and this motion that I'm doing here. So if this has been a problem area for you, just check that this is okay to move forward with. Perhaps see a physiotherapist before going any further. But if you are getting into it, a lighter resistance band, I definitely recommend. So what we're going to do, anchor point, you definitely want this around shoulder height. We can go lower, of course. That's also a really good option for stabilizing a little bit lower down. You don't want anything too high, and we're not doing this up here. We totally can, but not for today. So I'm keeping my anchor point here again. This would be a fantastic one to do on a door handle as well. And I know there's different ranges for door handles, but once again, if your anchor point is somewhere between here and here, golden, okay? So what you're going to do, you're just going to stand fairly close to your anchor point actually, and you want to make sure that when you pull your resistance band just, you know, tight enough that it's got that tension, it's pretty much reaching the middle of your rib cage. And all we're going to do is we're going to pull out just a bit. Now you can see I'm not doing a huge yanking motion. We don't need to by any means, but I'm just trying to send my elbow out to the side. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. Perfect. Now, I actually am going to turn my back on you. So rude, but I want you to see what kind of movement we're looking at. So we can do 6, okay? So me being very rude, and you can see what this setup looks like, and we're making sure we're not shrugging up. This is down and calm, and our elbow isn't pointing up like this. It's just where it would be naturally as we pull our anchor point. I'd like it to be at around nipple height. That would be good. All right, so set yourself up and let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can see I'm not having a nice little fun ride. All right, we're going to do this 2 more times each side. Let's go for 6. Hand on hip if you need. 4. Open up that chest. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go with this side. Once again, you can have a look at my back if you like. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you may notice, you know, not only am I not trying to, you know, do one of these, I actually am trying to embrace my core again, okay? So as always, we have some lovely little incidental core workout. All right, last, let's go. 6, 5, 4. You may also notice 3, one arm has better range than the other, for me and for you. And that's quite normal. It's nothing to be worked up about or worried over unless it's giving you actual grief and you have pain. Let's go for the last 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If it is giving you grief, I highly recommend you go see a local personal trainer or a physiotherapist to help you work things through. Okay guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me for your workout today and for choosing to move your body today. Once again, I really want you to thank yourself for putting in the time and the effort to give yourself the gift of exercise. You know, we're heading towards Christmas and everyone's talking about gifts and presents. I just really hope you give yourself any self-care gifts that you need, and exercise is a wonderful form of that. So today was a lower intensity option. Haven't decided what I'm doing next week. Open to suggestions as always. So if you want to know more about what diverse personal training is about, and if you're located on the Mornington Peninsula, like what I do and want to get involved, just head to my website or my Facebook page or give me a call. I'll put all the details below. So thank you so much guys for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.